Patriots Nation, hold on for this one. There's a quiet decision that could protect Drake Maye in the biggest way, and there's a rumor out there that could blow the roof off our expectations. In the middle of all that, there's one interior O-line move that could flip the entire offense on its head, and there's a sneaky fit being floated that screams two tight end football. I'm not here for fantasy land. I'm here for what it means, what it costs, and what it changes. And I'll tell you this right now. By the end, I'm coming back to the one storyline that's the most dangerous for 2026, because it's the one that can split the fan base and reshape the future. But first, one thing that actually tells you the Patriots are building something real, not just riding one magical season, is Ashton Grant staying in New England. I know, it doesn't sound like a headline. Quarterback's coach doesn't trend on your feed, until you remember what it does to a young QB when the voices in his ear keep changing. The news out there says Grant decided to remain in Foxborough rather than even entertain the vacant offensive coordinator job with the Raiders. That's a two-layer win to me. Drake Maye keeps the same hands on the steering wheel of his development, and Mike Vrabel keeps the building steady. And don't brush that off as comfort. Continuity is not complacency. Continuity is how you get a quarterback to play fast when the lights are hot. Because here's the thing. Stability means the same teaching points, the same language, the same corrective reps, over and over, until it becomes instinct on 3rd and long. We all watch the offense seize up in the Super Bowl. No excuses. But you don't fix a high-level offense by forcing your quarterback to learn a new dialect every single year. Evan Lazar pointed out that Maye has had a different OC every year since his redshirt freshman season at UNC. If you've ever played a sport, think about that for a second. New terminology, new footwork emphasis, new reads, new "this is how we do it," over and over. Now, with Josh McDaniels and Grant back again, you're giving Maye the chance to sharpen the details. Protection calls, blitz identification, checks at the line, timing, chemistry. All the stuff that separates good from unstoppable. And I can already hear the comments splitting into two camps. One side will say, if he's that good, why isn't he an OC? The other side will say, don't touch what's working. I'm somewhere in the middle, with a warning. Keeping talent is great, but it comes with a responsibility. If Grant is that valued, the Patriots have to have a plan to retain him long-term, reward him when the time is right, and not let this become a one-year victory lap before someone scoops him up later. Because contenders bleed coaching staff every offseason. We've seen teams lose coordinators, blow up systems, hit reset buttons. And New England is sending one of the rarest messages in the league. We're building continuity on purpose. For a young QB who already took this team to a Super Bowl in year one of McDaniel's system, that's gasoline. Now, there's one problem you can't talk your way around. You can have stability, chemistry, all the confidence in the world, and it doesn't matter if the middle of your offensive line is a turnstile. Let's get into the part of football that doesn't get the glamour on social media, but absolutely decides playoff runs. The interior O-line. There's a cold, almost surgical decision on the table here, and it could raise the floor of this entire offense. Bills center Connor McGovern is heading for free agency, and the idea being floated is simple. Go get a guy you know, from a team you see twice a year, and let him stabilize the heartbeat of your protection. Before you roll your eyes because it's a division rival, breathe. This is business. If the player hits the market, it's the market. Garrett Bradbury came in on a 2-year, $9.5 million deal last March. The issue is what came after. He finished with a 60.1 offensive grade and ranked 39th among centers, per Pro Football Focus. That's not unplayable, but it's also not what you want if you're trying to protect a quarterback who just played in the Super Bowl. And here's the number that matters. Bradbury's cap hit is set at $6.9 million next season, and the Patriots could save $5.7 million if they release him. That's real flexibility. That's money you can redirect into protecting Maye, into building the run game, into giving the offense a cleaner pocket to operate from. McGovern, on the other hand, has been steady in Buffalo for 3 seasons, 49 starts, and he made the Pro Bowl in 2024. The scouting note that jumps off the page is pass protection. He's been one of the better pass-blocking centers, and he didn't allow a sack in 2025, according to the PFF tracking referenced in the report. That's not just a cute stat. That's the difference between May climbing the pocket and making a throw versus bailing out and taking a hit. A center isn't just a blocker. He's the communicator. He's the guy setting the table, identifying pressure, getting everyone on the same page, making sure your third and long isn't dead before the ball is snapped. Be honest. Would you rather gamble on maybe it improves or pay for stability right down the middle? Because after what we saw on that Super Bowl stage, when the interior collapsed and the offense basically disappeared until the fourth quarter, you can't pretend the middle doesn't matter. And yes, Patriots Nation is going to split again. One side will say, don't overpay, keep the money, draft and develop. Another side will say, protect the franchise, period. I'm telling you where I land. If the goal is to get back and not just make a nice run, you prioritize the interior. You don't leave your quarterback in survival mode. But even if you fix the center spot, there was another issue that screamed during that 29-13 loss. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't complicated. It was obvious. The offense didn't have enough answers when defenses tightened up. And that brings us to the two tight end identity that McDaniels loves. New England uses 12 personnel at a high clip. That's not new. Two tight ends force defenses to pick their poison. Do you stay heavy and risk getting stretched down the seams? Do you go lighter and risk getting punched in the mouth in the run game? Hunter Henry had a career year as May's seam threat. But Austin Hooper's production dipped hard from 24, and despite still being a capable second option, the reality is the snap share didn't match the impact. There was a stretch where Hooper played over half the snaps consistently, and he ended the regular season with 21 catches. Again, that's not a personal shot. That's just a production gap in a system that asks a lot from that second tight end. So here's the idea being floated. Isaiah Likely from the Ravens as a potential fit if New England wants to keep living in that two tight end world. Nothing is confirmed. This is about possibility and fit. Likely is 25. He's been behind Mark Andrews, and the raw numbers from this season look modest. 27 catches for 307 yards in 14 games. But context matters. The year before, he hit career highs in catches, yards, and touchdowns. And the bigger point is his profile. He can stress the defense vertically as a second tight end. He's the kind of player who makes linebackers uncomfortable and forces safeties to make decisions. Picture it. Henry drawing attention in the middle, Likely attacking space, and May having two legitimate seam options instead of one. That changes coverage. It changes red zone matchups. It changes how defenses play your play-action looks. Those are chunk play opportunities that keep drives alive and flip field position. But here's the catch, and you knew there was one. The market value being discussed is in the $8 to $12 million per year range, depending on how desperate a team is for weapons. And New England has holes to fill. You can't throw money at every problem like it's Madden. So the debate becomes, is that too much for a second tight end? Or is it the kind of move that pays dividends when defenses clamp down in January? Some of you are going to say, give May weapons, whatever it costs. Others are going to say, fix the line first, fix the line first, fix the line first. I don't think it's a luxury move if your offense just went silent in the biggest game of the season. I think it's a strategic investment, as long as you don't overextend and block your ability to address everything else. Now, while we're talking about filling holes, there's one rumor that would shake the entire offseason if it ever got real. And it lives on the defensive side, where one move can change games in a way protection and scheme sometimes can't. Maxx Crosby. Let me be clear, there is no trade done here. There is no finality. This is a rumor, a possibility, talk that's being floated because Crosby's situation in Las Vegas has been tense, and the Patriots are expected to be aggressive after falling just short in Super Bowl 50. But if you're a football fan, you know why this hits different. Crosby is the kind of edge rusher that changes protection plans. He makes quarterbacks speed up. He turns second and manageable into third and forever. He changes how offenses call plays. The numbers speak for themselves. 73 tackles, 10 sacks, an interception, 6 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles. That's superstar production on a team that struggled. And the storyline fueling this is that he wasn't happy about being shut down with 2 games left in the season, which lit up trade chatter. At the same time, the Raiders have a new regime with Clint Kubiak, and they promoted defensive line coach and run game coordinator Rob Leonard to defensive coordinator. a coach who's close with Crosby. Ian Rappaport shared that update, and it naturally makes you wonder, is that a move designed to keep Crosby happy? Is it meant to cool the temperature in that locker room? Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Because the reality is, the Raiders aren't just going to hand Crosby away. If the Patriots ever get a real shot, it's going to cost real assets. Premium picks, multiple pieces, the kind of price tag that forces you to decide what kind of team you want to be for the next 3 years. And Patriots Nation is going to get loud about it. One side will scream, "Go all in! The window is open right now!" The other side will say, "Don't mortgage the future. We still have too many needs." I'm not treating this like a video game either. Big trades can build dynasties, and big trades can leave you hollow. But I'm also not going to pretend Crosby wouldn't elevate the defense immediately. A pass rusher like that changes playoff games, period. And this is why I called it the most dangerous storyline for 2026. Not because Crosby isn't worth it, because the cost forces you to choose. Do you swing big right now? Or do you keep building the roster with patience and depth? So when you zoom out, all 4 stories are connected. Keeping Ashton Grant is committing to May's development with continuity. Considering Connor McGovern is about fixing the interior so your offense can actually function when pressure ramps up. Looking at Isaiah Likely is about giving May more answers in the middle of the field, especially in those tight playoff windows. And keeping an eye on the Crosby rumor is the ultimate test of ambition versus restraint. Earlier, I promised I'd circle back to the one that's most dangerous for 2026. That's Crosby, because it's the one that can split the fan base and reshape the future. Now I'm throwing it to you. Would you go all in right now if you had the chance? Or do you build this the slow, sustainable way and trust the draft? Drop your take in the comments. I want to see where Patriots Nation stands on this. And if you're riding with the Patriots every day, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.